Geht noch nicht.
You've reached Erica Wade. Leave a message after the beep.
I don't see how those things work together.
Und einfach abspielen und dran halten. Kassette rausnehmen. Das ist seltsam. Ach so ging das ja.
Hello, Erica. It's your father. Call Kathy Rain and give her what she wants. Bye.
You've reached Erica Wade. Leave a message after the beep.
Hi, Erica. This is Kathy Rain. I spoke to your father. He asked me to get in touch with you and said he would call ahead. You can reach me at 555-8352. Bye. Your move, Erica.
Was? 5-2? Jetzt muss ich warten, bis das Telefon klingelt.
Oh, hello there, Mildred.
Hi yourself, Agatha.
What? How'd you... Never mind.
I know your social security number too.
Oh, God. Soon you'll start stealing my clothes and then walk around in them pretending to be me.
Who says I haven't done that already?
Okay, I admit that's pretty funny.
So anyway, how did things go with Dave?
Pretty good. I had to sabotage your computer.
You had to what?
Oh, chill outy. It was just a tiny little thing. I just needed an excuse for the IT guy to come by so I could steal his password.
Clyde? But he's so nice. Why'd you want to steal his password?
It's a long story. And then I used Mr. Wade's synthesized voice to craft this fake message, which I left on her answering machine.
Now that's some out-of-the-box thinking.
Yep, just might be silly enough to work.
Yeah. Anyhow, feel free to keep using my computer. I need to do some homework anyway.
Sounds good. I'm sure I found everything in the picture of those lights, but I have a nagging feeling that they're connected to something I found yesterday.
Was habe ich denn gestern rausgefunden? Ah, das ist immer, wenn man Pausen macht zwischen den Spielen. Ich habe doch rausgefunden, dass die da dieses Dreieck im... Habe ich irgendwas mit einem Dreieck? Hatte ich gestern ein Dreieck gesehen? Eileen, ich brauche eine Idee von dir.
Hey, E, got a sec?
Sure thing, Kathy.
Hey, E.
What's up?
Klar, Kay.
What do you think of Lily Meyer's art?
I actually looked her up this morning, and I couldn't find any records of her being recognized as an artist.
Yeah, I doubt there was ever a chance for that to happen. Wade bought everything shortly after she died. I only got a chance to see this one picture. Wasn't all that bad, but nothing breathtaking.
Well, maybe there's more to her art than meets the eye. Something Wade knew, and we're missing.
Yeah, maybe. So, what's your take on this Charles Wade?
I'm not sure. He sounded like a super nice guy on that tape, but media says that he's a ruthless businessman.
The tape is over 2 decades old. Maybe he's changed.
Either that or he is very different in his private life. Hard to know without actually seeing him.
I wonder what was so special about Lily Myers. Well, besides her being a talented artist who drowned herself in a lake.
I bet there's some secret about her art. Let's hope Charles Wade has some answers.
What do you think of this cocky person?
Well, the nickname makes me think of, you know, boy parts.
And you call yourself a Christian. Any ideas about what happened to my grandfather in 81?
Beats me. Maybe he found what he was looking for. Or it found him.
Did you just quote a tagline from one of those cheesy horror novels?
Maybe.
I should get back to the investigation.
Okie dokie.
Nah, the trap is already set. Hopefully she'll call me back.
Ja, das werde ich schon nicht verpassen.
I'll write down clues in this as I find them. It's the brochure that priest gave me at the funeral. The logo stands out, but other than that, it's just the usual church mumbo jumbo. Washing away your sins,
Ja, schau mal,
salvation,
das
blah
sind auch so
blah.
3.
There's also an address at the bottom. You know, if I ever feel like getting my God on. Huh. Good old Satan. Better get his snowmobile ready for that day.
Das sieht doch aus, hier, diese 3, wie das, was ich auf dem Computer hatte. Da habe ich einen Ausdruck von gemacht, oder?
Looks overexposed.
Ich denke, ich habe was ausgedruckt. Hä? Ich dachte, ich hätte die Blume ausgedruckt und ich dachte, ich hätte... Vielleicht muss ich in den Drucker noch reinschauen.
Color printer. Super fancy, apparently. A fact which Eileen loves to remind me of. Something's been printed. I should pick it up.
Ach, das muss man auch noch mitnehmen. Ei, 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 ei.
I'll just get rid of the original picture now, since I have the restored version anyway. Strange. Now that I look at them, the lights remind me of something I picked up yesterday.
Ja, das? Kann man das eigentlich kompilieren? Kompilieren.
That action doesn't seem productive to me.
Ja, ich wollte scrollen. Warum darf ich nicht scrollen? Was ist, wenn ich das kombinieren will mit was weiter links ist? Dann hast du verloren.
That combination makes no sense.
Diese 3 Dinger sehen doch ein bisschen aus wie diese 3 Dinger. Nur ein bisschen gedreht.
Ugh, I feel strange. A printed picture of the strange smoky lights. It appears to have been taken somewhere in Conwell Woods. Now that I look at them, they remind me of something I picked up yesterday.
Ja, hier, diese 3 Dinger.
It's the brochure that priest gave me at the funeral. The logo stands out, but other than that, it's just the usual church mumbo jumbo. Washing away your sins, salvation, blah blah.
Wenn ich anders
There's also an
kombiniere.
address at the bottom. You know, if I ever feel like getting my God on. Huh. Good old Satan. Better get his snowmobile ready for that day.
Das war Santa, nicht Santa. Satan. Wenn ich das hier... Ich will scrollen. Das da geht auch nicht. Also müsste ich hier... Ah, das geht wohl.
Wow, the church logo looks pretty similar to the smoky
Ja,
lights.
meine ich doch.
I might have to visit them after all.
Aber auf jeden.
Hey, E, come check this out.
Check it out.
Wow, they're hypnotic. Looks like a will-o'-the-wisp. You know, the spirit of the forest.
Now, that's just silly, Eileen. There has to be a more reasonable explanation for them.
Hey, there's nothing
Aliens.
silly about forest spirits. You should talk to Meadow, my Wiccan friend. She's really opened my eyes
Wicca.
about these sort of things.
die eine intime Beziehung mit dem Baum vor ihrem Wohnheim hatte. Okay.
Isn't that the same Meadow who had an intimate relationship with the tree outside her dorm?
Oh, come on. That was just a phase.
Trust me, I've been through every phase in the book. That definitely isn't one of them.
So, anyway, is there anything I can do to help?
Well, my side of the room is starting to get a bit messy. There's always that.
I meant with the investigation, silly.
I guess you could try to find out more about these lights. Maybe figure out where that picture was taken.
I know exactly where to start.
Good. I'm gonna get some food now before I pass out.
Okie dokie. I'll grab my books and get cracking.
All right, see you in a bit.
Ah ja, und jetzt darf ich bestimmt in den Wald fahren. Oder zu dieser...
Hey,
Hey!
Was war das jetzt? Ach, sie hat nur was zu essen geholt.
so, any progress with the search?
Yeah, I was able to identify that flower. It's called the red scythe, or Rosea falcus. I discovered that there was a small nature reserve near Conwell Springs, which was established in '89. The red scythe is on their list of endangered plants. I made a photocopy of the botany book page in case you want it later.
That's something. I should go check it out. Maybe I can narrow down the place where that picture was taken. And, good work, Eileen.
Happy to help. So what...
Ah!
Oh,
Endlich.
hang on. I'll go get that.
Okie dokie.
Endlich das Telefon.
Hello?
This is Erica Wade calling for Kathy Rain.
Die ist am Apparat.
Speaking.
Miss Rain, this is terribly awkward. I realize now how rude I was before. I wanted to apologize and ask if there is anything I can do.
Apology accepted. You can start by answering a few questions.
Very well.
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather that night in '81?
Not really, no. But what I do know is how it destroyed Father.
It did?
Oh, yes. The two of them were great friends once. And when Joseph was hurt, they hadn't been talking for some time. Father always hoped they would be able to reconnect one day. He kept putting it off, believing they had time. But in the end, it never happened.
So, what were things like back when they were still good friends?
Oh, they were like peas in a pod. Always sharing their war stories and laughing together. In a way, Joseph became the uncle I never had. He was around a lot when Father went out on business trips. Later on, I even met you a few times, when you were just a baby.
I don't remember any of that.
Oh, no matter, you were so little then.
Erica, I have to ask. Why were you so defensive on the phone earlier when I tried to reach out?
Oh, I don't know, Kathy. Our families haven't been in touch for a long time. I don't remember exactly when it happened, but we all started drifting apart. My guess is that it had to do with Father's growing wealth. Friendship needs common ground, and we started living in different worlds. What happened to your grandfather was the final nail in the coffin. Father just couldn't bear seeing him like that, neither alive nor dead.
Do you recognize the nickname Cocky? It may be an Air Force call sign.
I can't say that I do. Father had many friends in the Air Force, but no one I can recall by that name.
What do you know about Lily Myers?
She was a young artist who lived somewhere in Conwell Springs. Killed herself, if I recall correctly. Dreadful thing. But other than that, not much. We never knew the family.
What do you know about Lily Myers' art?
Oh, that little girl had a twisted mind, let me tell you that. Oh, my father used to have a few pieces of hers in his collection. Horrible things. I couldn't understand why he ever decided to procure them in the first place.
You say used to have. Did he get rid of the paintings?
Oh, either that or he put them in storage somewhere. I haven't seen them for years. I never bothered to ask him why. Glad to be rid of them, quite frankly.
What can you tell me about Mr. Wade?
My father is a great man. He has so many ideas, so much left to realize, which makes it hurt so much more to see him like this.
See him like what?
The illness and everything, of course.
Right. Yeah, it must be hard.
Yes, indeed. I wish he wouldn't be so stubborn with his treatment. He could go to any state-of-the-art hospital, but insists on being treated in that backwater clinic in Conwell Springs.
The community clinic in the middle of town?
Yes. It's like he's given up and is just waiting for the inevitable to happen.
Do you know anything about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
It's the one and only church in Conwell Springs. I was baptized there, and I married my husband there.
Anything out of the ordinary about them?
Oh, not really. They seem like a typical church to me.
Ja, dankeschön. Oder kann ich scrollen? Nö. Hat jetzt nicht so viel gebracht, wie ich erhofft hatte.
Do you recognize the nickname Cocky? It may be an Air Force call sign.
I can't say that I do. Father had many friends in the Air Force, but no one I can recall by that name.
What do you know about Lily Meyer's art?
Oh, that little girl had a twisted mind, let me tell you that. Oh, my father, I couldn't understand why he ever decided.
You say used to have.
Oh, either that or he put them in storage somewhere. I haven't seen.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Very well. Feel free to call back if you have any more questions.
Machen wir. Irgendwie fehlt mir noch was.
All right. Wade is in Conwell Springs. He's being treated in the clinic.
Vielleicht muss ich mal direkt mit ihm sprechen. In der Klinik.
That was Erica Wade. Her father is being treated at the clinic in Conwell Springs.
Being treated? He's sick?
Looks that way. Small miracle they managed to keep it out of the press.
Yeah, I suppose you are returning to talk to him?
It'll have to be tomorrow. It's quite late for that now.
I suppose. Scrabble?
Oh, you're so on. I will crush you.
Turning your pawn into a queen, is that the plan, buddy boy? You know me, I'm always playing the long game, old friend. That may be, but you're running out of pieces. First you lost your queen, then your knight. All that matters is the king. Delusional as always. The king is dead. Long live the king, check.
Okie dokie.
Good morning, sunshine.
Please tell me I dreamt all those Scrabble losses last night.
3 times in a row.
Rub it in, why don't you? I'll just go strangle myself now.
Die pennt immer in Klamotten,
Don't be
ne?
a
Die
sore
muss ja
loser.
stinken da.
So what's the plan today?
Mr. Wade is the plan. I'll head for the clinic right away. While I'm at it, I'm gonna check out the church and the nature reserve.
Okie dokie. What can I do to help?
Why don't you continue looking into the lights? I have a feeling they're the key to solving all of this. You could also look up the history of Conwell Springs in general, see if anything unusual has been going on.
I'll get right on it.
Great. Thanks, E.
Oh, by the way, don't forget to check out the page I gave you about the red scythe. It's a pretty interesting flower.
Right. Yeah.
Mach ich sofort.
It's a photocopy of a book page with information about the red scythe flower. Here's an interesting segment. Another interesting trait of the red scythe is the smell, which is familiar to that of a pepper. The pollen of the plant has also been known to cause hallucinations in concentrated amounts. Native American tribes harvested and smoked the plant for that reason, but the flower never caught on as a modern recreational drug due to the difficulty of growing it.
Wo ist denn jetzt meine Broschüre hingekommen? Ich glaube, der sortiert immer aus. Wenn ich irgendwas nicht mehr brauche, dann sortiert er aus.
Grandpa in uniform with 2 other men. Something is handwritten on the back. Flight training. McConnell Air Force Base, 1941.
Ich habe immer noch diesen kleinen Schlüssel. Das Foto von der Pflanze ist weg. Die Broschüre von der Kirche ist weg. Ja, ich gehe mal irgendwie in den Wald und zur Kirche und ins Krankenhaus.
Alright, I'm off. Peace outie.
Bisa,
Okie dokie. Good luck and see you later.
Alligator. Nicht, wenn ich dich zuerst sehe. Bevor ich ihn frage, sollte ich vielleicht mal mich hier ein bisschen umschauen. Ich habe Lust in den Wald. Dann nehme ich doch gleich mal diese Pflanze damit.
Well, this is it. This is where the picture was taken.
Das ist aber schnell gefunden.
I'm
Schön.
not sure what I expected to find here.
Ja, die Pflanze. Aber die war doch vorher da.
I need to clear my head. What the?
We've met before, haven't we?
Das ist doch der Typ aus dem Traum, oder? Gibt's da eine nette Antwort?
Nope, just no. I'd remember a creepy bald dude with makeup.
Memories can deceive, Kathy. Dig deeper.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
You told me, remember?
I feel strange.
Das ist
Am
so
I
sehr
dreaming?
an der Blume
It's the
geschnüffelt,
mending. I will try to facilitate.
You're not real. I'm lying asleep in my bed right now.
Focus, Kathy. Listen to the drowned girl.
You mean Lily? What about her?
She's the anomaly, the missing refrain, the convergence point of things past and events yet to happen.
Dial down the metaphors a notch, would you, Mr. Kafka? I get enough of that shit in English class.
I knew you wouldn't disappoint. I'm glad, given how much trouble I went through to be here. You see, my name was taken from me, so I claimed a color in its stead. The next time we meet, you'll know the exact hue of red. You're on the right path, Kathy. Follow your grandfather, and everything will work out in the end.
What the fuck?
Wait, what? How did I get here?
Ich brauche eine
Am I going
Gasmaske,
crazy? Am I
damit
turning
ich
into
von der
Mom?
Blume sicher bin. Omi, hast du eine Gasmaske? Also krieg ich vielleicht noch. Da haben sie dir verteilt.
Oh, hello, dear.
Omi.
Glad to see you again so soon.
Omi, ich
Hi,
brauche
Grandma. I just thought I'd drop
Gasmaske.
by.
Sure, hon. Stay as long as you'd like.
Wenigstens FFP2. Ach, da war ja noch kein Corona. Omi, hast du Gasmaske für mich?
Mind if we talk for a bit, Grandma?
Not at all, dear. What's on your mind?
I don't see a reason to ask her about that.
Gut.
I don't see a reason to ask her about that.
Okay, dann kann ich ja wieder gehen, oder was?
See you later, Grams.
Take care, dear.
Warum bin ich denn hier überhaupt aufgeschlagen?
Expensive looking scotch. That thing has been Huh, would be kind of funny to.
Tanz den Dings da mit mir. Kannst tanz den Käfig mit mir.
No result for that.
Warum bin ich da gelandet? Das hat doch irgendwie einen Sinn. Was ist mit dem roten Pferd?
This paint looks fresh. Grandma must have had this restored recently. I wonder why Grandpa ended up in that thing. Some kind of winter forest scene. I've always wondered if it's supposed to be Conwell Woods or not.
Warum bin ich da gelandet?
Mr. Bear! How did you get all the way up there? Good idea. You just keep watch. I'll do the searching. Just some old bills. Nothing interesting.
Just some old bills. Just small bills. Habe ich verstanden. Kleine Rechnung? Hä? Macht ja keinen Sinn. Bisher war das immer alles chronologisch. Ich rede erstmal mit dem. Das ist doch wieder der Knast hier, ne?
Yep, it's full of trash. Figure that.
Ich will nicht mal drin rumwühlen sehen.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Was? 2417? Sogar Deutsch hier eingedeutscht. Hey Penner.
It's that homeless guy who helped me distract Lenny.
Und wie geht's so in Freiheit?
We meet again, Mr. Homeless Guy.
Homeless? That's the worst thing I ever heard of, and totally untrue.
So, what's up with the trash can? Digging for treasure?
Well, I'm just going through a rough patch. By the way, you owe me $10.
7.
Nah, you agreed to 7.
You're busting my balls here.
Better get those balls checked out in this clinic then.
So cold. Like a stake through the heart.
What do they call you anyway?
Goober. Everyone calls me Goober.
All right, I'm Kathy.
Pleasure to meet you.
So, what's your story anyway?
My story?
Yeah, don't all bums have a story?
For your information, this is all just a dry streak in my showbiz career.
Oh
Is
ja.
that so? I don't recognize you at all.
I used to have more hair.
That I actually believe.
Come on, man. Frankie Gold is my stage name. Surely you must have heard of me.
Not really, no.
Oh, come on. I have starred in dozens of Hollywood movies.
Als Penner?
Silence of the Lambert, Jacob's Bladder, The Usual Surprises, Natural Bald Killers.
Not ringing any bells.
Kids these days, no appreciation for quality cinema. Breaks my heart.
So, tell me about this acting career of yours.
What about it?
Das schweigende Lämmer.
Tell me about the Silence of Lambert.
Lawrence Lambert, a real estate agent, suddenly turns mute overnight. For weeks, he tries to communicate with customers using a self-invented sign language, only to realize that true love needs no communication at all. He marries his housekeeper, who only knows 2 words in English, yes and clean. In the end, Lawrence dies of a heart attack in the arms of his lovely wife, Consuelo Lambert Vasquez. Based on a true story.
Das wird noch schlimmer sein, eine fängnisvolle Blase.
I'm not sure I want to know what Jacob's bladder is about, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Jacob's Bladder. The tragic story of Jacob Cobb, a schizophrenic man who forms an imaginary romantic relationship with his bladder. During long and joyful monologues on the can, he starts referring to his nether regions by the name of Jenny. Sadly, before Jacob has a chance to elope with his sweetheart, he gets committed to an asylum due to increasingly erratic behavior. After a big fight with his paramour, Jacob refuses to pee for a week, and he dies from a ruptured bladder.
Die üblichen Verdächtigen.
Give me the rundown on the usual surprises.
A lighthearted comedy taking place during a surprise birthday party of 34-year-old Sid McBacon. The story is told from 8 different perspectives to keep the audience guessing who the protagonist actually is. The movie ends with the biggest surprise of them all. Sid suddenly dies of an epileptic seizure. I guess it's more of a dark comedy.
Jäger des verlorenen Schatzes. Hunter außer verloren. Egal. Treasure.
Natural bald killers?
It's a dystopian vision of the future where people are valued by the quality of their hair. The protagonist, Eddie Zephyr, turns bald in high school. One day, he has simply had enough of all the teasing and the bullying, and he completely snaps and heads out on a scalping spree in search of the perfect head of hair. Eddie makes his way to Mexico for an illegal hair transplant. However, he has an adverse reaction to the anesthesia and he dies on the operating table.
Oh, never mind.
Not the cultured type. I understand.
Sehr kultiviert, ja, auf jeden Fall.
I need to ask you a few questions.
Sounds serious. Ask away.
Do you know what happened to Joseph Rain in 81?
I most certainly do.
What? Tell me.
Are you sure you want to know? Not everyone can handle the truth.
Oh, just spit it out.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Abducted by aliens.
I should have known better.
Oh, I saw it, man. A big, huge light. I was a bit drunk at the time, but I had my reasons. My wife had just left me, taking the dog, not to mention I was being conscripted for the war. But I'm telling you, those goddamn aliens took him and they experimented on him. And that's why he was so messed up when they put him back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Open your mind, man.
Do you recognize the nickname Cocky?
Why, I used to call myself that back in Nam. Oh, how I miss that marvelous youthful ego of mine.
Why do I even bother? Do you know who Lily Myers was?
Yep, my dad was the one who found her floating in the lake.
Really? What can you tell me about her?
Geez, not a lot. I mean, teenage girls, man, they're like their own species. Impossible to figure out. Not to mention how that entire family ain't, like, people-friendly.
Now that's an understatement. Nearly started brawling with Sue the first time I met her.
She could sure deal out a mean whooping, that lady.
Do you know who Charles Wade is?
Sure, he's been holed up in this clinic for the last couple of weeks.
You saw Charles Wade go in there?
Well, yeah, I just told you, man.
How did he look?
Okay, I guess. Still walking, at least.
What do you know about Lily Myers' art?
Nothing but hearsay. People say it was pretty deranged.
What's your opinion on the Church of the Holy Trinity?
I'd say they're good people. Isaac the priest is, anyway. His dad, Father Bill, on the other hand, though, he and the people he had around him were into some weird shit.
What kind of weird shit?
I don't know, they were like a cult or something, with Billy Praise himself at the top. Really shifty bunch of folks. Isaac turned it all around when his dad kicked the bucket, made it a proper church.
Interesting. Do you know anyone else who was involved in the old church?
Not really. I tried to stay as far away from those people as possible. Ask Isaac about it. He's a friendly guy.
All right. I might do that.